Good afternoon and bright blessings, everyone. Tonight is live spiritual panel, and we are doing the Zodiac sign of Cancer. I'll give it a minute for people to show up. And if you are familiar with the zodiac signs or with astrology, please feel free. It is open panel, so you can request to come up as we have our discussion on Cancer. And we'll talk about like the fundamentals, and then we'll also just kind of jump in and talk about just stuff associated with the zodiac sign of Cancer. So as always, please, if you can, like the video, give some hearts so that we pop up for everybody. And welcome, Candace. Get my chair a little more comfortable. So hearts help us a ton. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you for the roses. Always appreciated. Never expected. So thank you so much. All right, I'm just going to make sure I've invited Bren because he usually jumps up with me. Oh, it doesn't look like he's on yet. So I know sometimes it takes that quick minute to get there. So I'm going to start with, I know my face is covered by by the congratulations. So yes, whenever if you do something cool, I'll put the little congrats for you across, like in this case, my face. We could pretend they're funky glasses if I keep it there. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling better, hon. I know that's tough challenges. So bright blessings and healing energy your way, Candace. All right, I'm going to jump into Cancer, and it is the zodiac sign of Cancer. So, all right, actually my love, my soulmate, my twin flame, he happens to be of the zodiac sign Cancer. But Cancer is our first water element of the zodiac. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, and it as we go through. So our next one will be a fire element. Next week will be Leo. It is a cardinal sign, and it is ruled by the moon. So it is a moon rule. So they say that the greatest compatibility for anyone who is a Cancer is a Taurus and a Capricorn. So one of my first astrology books, and I was young, and you have to kind of know astrology. Sometimes we pick up books thinking, and then we're like, you got to know a lot. But it was Love Signs by Linda Goodman, and that book was published like back in the 70s. Granted, no, you can still get it now. I mean, I didn't get it in the 70s. I got it a little later way later than that. But she does go into it. And what's nice is even when it's a sign that isn't compatible, she talks about how you can have compatibility with that sign. And keep in mind, and I know I've said this some of the other times we've been talking about the astrological signs, it's not just the sun sign that we're looking at, because our moon sign has a lot of influence, and so does our ascension sign. And actually, every placement of our house and our planets has input. And so somebody might say, "Oh, yes, you're not compatible with that zodiac sign," but you probably are, because their ascension sign and your ascension sign may be more compatible. So our sun signs are only a little teeny portion of it. And if you don't have your natal chart and you're really curious about it, you can go to Astro Cafe I have an app called Time Passages that I love, and I've done the Astro Cafe, and I'm trying to remember the other one, and I'm totally blanking. When it comes to my mind, I'll throw it out there again. So, and you can pull your whole chart, and it's really important, I think, to have your whole chart, because then you understand why and you can have a friend that has your same birthday. And like they may be maybe a year younger than you, or a year older than you, or maybe 4 years younger or older, and you're both maybe a Cancer or a Taurus or a Virgo, but depending upon where the other planets are, this is how your personalities become completely different. So that's kind of a really fun thing to understand. So there we go. Ooh, I figured out how to move it up. Oh, I think it disappeared. It probably did. So, all right. So the strengths for those that are Cancer signs are they're very tenacious, very imaginative. They're loyal, and I will tell you they are very, very loyal. And I think that's so important to have loyalty. So every person I know who is a Cancer, like I've got a brother who's a Cancer. Like I said, my husband, one of my best friends growing up, she's a Cancer. I'm like, they are extremely loyal. They will have your back. So, they will be your friend for life. They are emotional. They are very empathetic and sympathetic. So that's like a very beautiful quality. So if you're going through something, they are going to either be sympathetic to the situation, or if they've gone through it, they will be extremely empathetic, and they're going to be like that shoulder to cry on. And, so they're wonderful people that way. They are very persuasive people when it comes to like expressing an opinion, because you'll go, oh, they are the ones that will kind of open your mind, and you'll be like, oh, they might be right. They're right, so they're the ones that are going to really persuade you. So their weaknesses is sometimes their emotions, because they can seem very moody. And I can attest that the Cancers that I know, when they get moody, they get moody. So that is one thing, is they do get kind of moody. So you have to be ready for that. They can have a pessimistic side. Hello, Vicky. They also can have a suspicious side. So and I have seen this where they will be very suspicious, and it may or may not be valid. So you've got a Cancer rising. That's always good. So we are talking about the weaknesses or the challenge. I think I like the word challenge a little better. So, and some Cancers are insecure. Again, that really does depend upon like their moon sign and their planetary signs, because it does make a huge difference on where they are. So most Cancers like art of some form. They like hobbies that are close to home. They like to relax near or in water. They love helping, but when they help people, they love helping people that are loyal to them, that are family members, that have their back. And they love food. They do love food. They don't like strangers and big crowds. They don't like people who criticize, like especially their mother or people that are close to them. And they're not the ones that are going to reveal their personal life. They're not going to be like, they're not going to straight up like say, oh yeah, this has happened to me. You have to probe them, and you're probably not going to get much about their personal life. Welcome, Bren.
Sure, we're talking about the crab.
Our
And boy,
crabs.
do I have a lot of facts about Cancer that's probably going to make you go, what?
Well, I'm married to one, and one of my brothers is a Cancer, so I'll probably more be like, yeah, yep. And actually, my best friend, since we've been best friends since we were 4. she's a Cancer. So, it's fun. And the funny thing is people say that Aries and Cancers don't get along. And I'm like, most of the people that like
They
in
actually
my
they actually do because you have because Aries is the sign that is related to Mars, then Cancer is the sign related to the moon. You have the soldier, then you have the queen. Yeah, so the soldier, of course, is going to prioritize listening to the king, the sun. But when the next in line is the queen. So that's how that combination works well. Mars has to, Aries has to defend the queen because that's 4 places away, 4 from any sign. That sign feels the need to protect, nourish, and provide a home or an environment or defend. While 10 places away, that sign has that connection as like, I must do this line of work for something. So Aries wants to defend Cancer. Cancer has this perspective of I need to do work and service to Aries. So you can kind of see with that for the aspects.
And that literally just described me and my husband's relationship. No, when people do him wrong, he's like, "Oh, my wife's gonna be pissed."
With his head.
And I do. He's like, I couldn't ask for anybody to have my back better than you have. So, and it is true. And I think that's one thing, like, I mean, I do have Cancer. I can't remember in which house it's in, but it's that combination. But it's funny because I have ran into people who just dabbled in astrology, and then when I started digging deeper, I'm like, the dabblers all said that I shouldn't be hanging out with Cancers, and like they're like who I hang out with the most.
Yep. And at least for me, I have my Cancer is in the 6th house, and then I also have Mars there. You're probably thinking like, oh gosh, that must be quite the doozy. Well, the beautiful thing about Cancer Mars is that there's 2 ways of them responding in conflict. There's number 1, where they black out. And number 2, they will take swings at you emotionally. They will swing at your emotions, your mind, and they will do psychological warfare to the extreme. And that's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, do not make a Cancer mad. And like I was talking earlier how they like food, and I will tell you that my brother and my husband, when they are hungry, it's like you either throw food at them and run or just run. So it's like,
So you notice, speaking of that, I've also seen a lot of Cancerian dominant people. Weirdly enough, they like water chestnuts.
actually, yeah.
A lot of them I've noticed they like water chestnuts.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like, what's a water chestnut? Well, it's I'm trying to remember where they are, where they yield from, and I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah, my husband had some when we were in Europe, and I know my brothers had them before.
yeah.
I can attest for my best friend. Like, I know when she would get hungry, she'd be like, "Oh, we got to go grab something." But she wouldn't get like really cranky. But when she was hungry, it was like, "All right, we got to go get her food." Like I can go, like, my husband will be like, "Oh, you're frustrating me." Like the other day, like we went to run errands and we didn't have breakfast. And it was like, I mean, we'd been up for like 6, 7 hours, and I'm fine. I'm like, well, if we get food, we get food." And he was like, so I'm like, "Okay, where do you want to go?" "I don't care. Where do you want to go?" He's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I don't care." Like, I'm like, "I just need to get you food."
Sure, this is going to sound pretty bad, but we're just going to nod our head and roll with it because it is what it is. It's not bad or good. Of all these signs, Cancer is the most selfish. What do you mean selfish? Oh, shellfish. I see what you did there. No, selfish. But why? Well, Cancer, wherever Cancer goes, whichever house it's in, whatever planets are in there, immediately they're influencing the mother and the qualities of the mother. Because Cancer is that divine mother sign.
Yep.
And Cancer, being the sign of the divine mother, what is one of the most commonly known things about a mother? Number 1, she will do whatever she has to do to feed her child. Steal, rob, bludgeon someone for a piece of bread, you name it. She'll do what she has to get her child fed. Usually, most of the time by normality. And Cancer, also, when we take a look at other like mythological stories of how the sign of Cancer was made or put into the sky, one of my absolute favorites has to be with the one regarding Hera. So this is how the tale went. I can't remember exactly what that festival for Hera it's called. I can't remember its name exactly, but that festival was going on, and the people made a plea to Iris, who's her communicator and messenger, to give Hera a message that they are inviting her down for this festival. So Iris delivers the message. Hera is delighted. She sits on her golden throne, sits on it, taps, and then she goes, falls right from Olympus, goes, and she's like going down to earth on the throne. Down she goes. Meanwhile, on the ground, there's just this little crab on the shore, just standing there, just minding its business. Then a squish! The throne lands right on it. And now you just see like a little bit of its pincer just going underneath the throne. Hera just stands up, just, okay, I'm ready for this festival. She looks down and she realizes she crushed the crab. And feeling so upset and so distraught about squishing the poor thing, she decided then to make it into a constellation in hopes of like kind of showing remorse for that. So that kind of also shows that deep emotional side. Like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Really deep emotions and trying to, like, literally breaking the shell. But then realizing, oh, this is tender and just so soft and so nurturing. And Juno, the asteroid related to Hera, it does also gets its most comfortable in the sign of Cancer for that, because Juno is a mother goddess, despite being the one that's also a bit. Well, I don't like calling her jealous because I think it's justified, but her being in Cancer, you're having a relationship have the divine feminine aspect come in that regard. Because Cancer, mother, divine mother, Juno, that marriage relationship, you get the idea. But another thing with Cancer, there's 3 constellations within Cancer. There is the other part of Purnavasu, Return of the Light. Then there is Pusha and Aslacia, which is the last one from the 1640 degrees to the 30th. The last bit of Purnavasu, this is
You're paused.
bloody phone. Quit doing that. The last bit of Purnavasu in Cancer is showing coming back home, entering the home, and then returning back to once you traveled. While the other part from Gemini is being casted out, going on the adventure. This is coming back, and the light has returned. And once you return to home, well, you want to relax and rest. And that's symbolized by that other part, the quiver, not the bow part. Because the bow and arrow is that symbol. The quiver is the home, the bow is going out. Pusha is symbolized by a cow's udder or the goat's udder. And ironically, it has the dominion of Saturn ruling it. You're probably thinking, how can an old geezer be related to udders? Well, Pusha is where you have the nurturing part come in. And what you've done in past life gets brought over and nourished to you into this life. And that's how that connection comes in. And that's also where Jupiter gets its deepest exaltation in Pusha. And he's associated with that constellation part of Cancer too, the heart of it. And then last but not least, Aslacia, which is the coiled serpent ready to strike. And you're probably thinking, haha, so I knew there was something really poisonous about this crab. Well, that part of Cancer, the last bit, that is where you can see somebody have associations with medicine, medical like studies, pharmaceutical, but then also being a chemist, biologist, and also making viruses, and also doing anything related to chemicals. So they can make a poison or an antidote or medicine like that. But also you can see people who are also really great huggers, anything in there. So if you have, let's say, Mars in Cancer, like I do, but mine's in Pusha, Mars in Aslacia, part of Cancer, you can see husband figure or boyfriend has a really strong hug. Like, oh, good Lord, strong, because it's the coiled serpent. But that also has the other aspect of placements there in Aslacia. They're very hypersensitive. You simply just walk in the same room as them, they'll know. And Aslacia people placements in that part of Cancer, they have intensely strong intuitive ability. Like, if they feel something's off, they will know. That's my filibuster with Cancer for a moment.
Yes, you probably need a drink for a second. Yes, so cancers are really like, I mean, I find them to be fascinating people and fun to be around. Out of all of the water signs, because our water signs tend to be more emotional, Cancer, I don't think, like Pisces, they just seem so emotional. Sometimes it's too heavy to be around Cancer or Pisces, but like Cancers, like they're emotional and loving enough that it's not like so overwhelming that you're like, oh gosh. Because I've been around Pisces where I'm like, oh my
Yep.
God. No.
And a good way to think about it too, since you have like Cancer, well, what do we know about a crab? A crab can adapt. A crab can go on land. It can be practical, on the ground, realistic 3D, but then it can also go into the water, emotions. So that's the advantages of Cancer. It can be on the ground, but then go into water. Same thing with the opposite sign of Capricorn. Because in the Vedic system, Capricorn's a crocodile. What do you know about crocodiles? Dun, 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 dun. But that goes back in the water. So they both adapt exceptionally well for that. They can both come onto land, but one will have more of an advantage over the other. Because the crab, when it goes underwater, it can hide underneath things. The crocodile can go in water, but it won't be able to fit where the crab's at, unless it gets creative with its chomper. But you can see that equal adaptation for both of them, and definitely like with Cancer being that divine mother sign, the mother is very adaptable, and there's one thing for certain: she knows. Like, she has this intuitive connection with her child wherever she goes. Like, why do I got a feeling my son did something stupid? Son, did you happen to do something you shouldn't have done? No. While he's putting the cookie back in the cookie jar.
So I had to pull up mine because I don't have my chart totally memorized. I have some of it memorized, but yes, Cancer is in my 9th house.
Oh. Actually, that could show that. Well, probably the most. When it comes to like higher education, most of your teachers are going to be somebody that is like a motherly figure. Like the way that they teach you, you like to have teachers that are able to get like down on your level and kind of guide you through it. Because Cancer is the elementary school to I would have to say sophomore year in high school, from preschool all the way to there, because that's like really, that's, I don't want to say low level, but it's like yeah, starting to getting close to Leo, where it's like that bachelor, like, hey, I'm gonna get an adult now. Then Virgo comes through like, yeah, we get it, move along, go to college already. But it's that beginning energy, and Cancer does have that dominion over preschool, because it's like you're having a daycare. You have to have that Cancerian motherly teaching. And Cancer does have that dominion over elementary intro teaching, because the mother is the first teacher at that. So Cancer in the 9th also, that shows that the higher power most definitely will be a goddess figure of some kind. There will be at least one in some capacity. And whenever doing something that is for a higher purpose or learning, whenever there is some kind of element of like running water or a stream close by, that helps you be able to expand your knowing of a subject. and finding the deeper meaning behind it or underneath it all.
See, and it's funny that you say that because when I was in Chicago, I loved to go to Lake Michigan, and I've always loved bodies of water, like ocean, lake, river. And see here, I have two favorite spots that I love to just go sit with my feet. I sit in the rock with my feet dangling in the river. And so it's funny that you say that because it's like literally that's what I literally do. I always come back and my husband's like, your pants are wet again. Yep.
And I mean, and also with Cancer too, even though Cancer does have rulership to the moon, Moon doesn't consider Cancer its Motricona, and Motricona is when you have a planet considering a certain sign where it's most comfortable and it considers its office. So Motricona for the moon is Taurus, but a Cancer moon, she owns it, so she's familiar with it, but she would much rather be in Taurus. But nonetheless, the planet there are, well, when it comes to Cancer, Cancer is also one of the very few signs that has a friendly planet get pissed off in it. Mars sees Moon as friendly because, well, it's the soldier and the queen, but now you're putting it in Cancer where it's the kitchen where the housewives are. You're taking a buff macho man and now you're making him wear an apron and giving him a cookie sheet and a rolling pin and a chef's hat and telling him, okay, get to work. Go make those sandwiches. How am I going to beat anything with this cookie sheet and rolling pin? No, Mars, calm down. You can't be yelling in the house. No, Mars, you gotta put that knife down. No, put it down. Okay, ladies, let's skip a little bit. What? What do you mean skip? Then the ladies just like join hands and they just skip around going, hey, brother, pour the wine. He's like, but he can't splash out. So in that environment, Mars is pissed off because he has to act like a mother. Mars wants to go where Capricorn is and go fisticuffs, but he can't do that in the home. But with Mars and Cancer in that regard, you can see somebody be like a butcher for that regard because you're using the blade to prepare food and you have to cut things. And yeah, Mars represents the hemo and all that. But Cancer also has the exaltation of the North Node Rahu. And the reason why that is because you're taking Rahu, the North Node, who is an Asura, and he wanted to drink the elixir to become a Deva. You're taking an Asura, you're putting it in the sign of a divine mother. That's what Rahu wants. He wants to be divine. So now, there, you have somebody seeking out to be a figure that wants to nourish things, wants to make things grow, wants to nurture things. When you have something wanting to be that nourishing, protective, and safe figure, that's where that gets that exaltation. And ironically, across the way, in Capricorn, that's where the South Node, K2, also gets exaltation. So that 410 axis is where that exaltation lies. But if you have it reversed, that's where you don't do so good. Because Capricorn, North Node, Rahu, you're having the one that wants to nom and everything be like, oh, nope, I have to just take one bite. Must take another bite of Pringle, but can't do it, must have control. While the South Node, K2, goes, meh with mother. Meh, which is that no, we don't want that. That's a nitty no. But that you get the idea.
So I want to thank everybody for joining. We have a lot of people in chat. Please feel free to put your questions on Cancer. It is open panel, so if you do want to come up and talk, please feel free to request. But tonight we are doing our 12-week series on the Zodiac signs. So it's just a really high overview of each of the Zodiac signs, and we're on our fourth sign, our fourth week. We are doing Cancer. Next week we will be doing Leo. This will be on our second fire sign. And thank you so much for everybody giving hearts. We're at 1,000. Let's see if we can get to 10,000 again tonight. And thanks so much for the gifts to both Bren and myself. Always appreciated, never expected. So, Yes, I love, well, and one thing we can think about, like with cancer, or like how crabs have the little
Yeah,
pincers.
yeah. When they pinch something, when they get a hold of something that is important to them, they will hold, and you
They
will be
will
like,
hold.
oh, that's just
Yes.
like if you think of it kind of like this: you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, trying to be sneaky. Then your mother grabs your ear, and you're like, oh shoot. Wait, mom, can you let go of my ear? No, you're coming back home with me. Woo!
Very, very true. Um, so one thing, like I did say, like my best friend, I've known her since we were four, and like when it comes to friendships, cancers are really great, sensitive people, very loyal. They're very respectful. They communicate well. Again, they like to socialize, but they're not huge with crowds. But now, again, like that's like the main thing because like my best friend, she will go to things that are crowded, but I know it's because she has different planets in their signs. But like when it comes to my husband and my brother, like they hate crowds, so it's like crowd, no. And like I took my husband to something, so like we're in a small town, and my husband's like, it's just so crowded here, and I'm like, there's maybe 100 people here, but it's like that's too crowded. Granted, I don't like big crowds either, but like in a small town when it's 100 people, I can handle it. Add 10, times that by 10,000, and I'm like, ah.
And because I got my notes up finally, this thing took forever to load. So Cancer, also known as the sign that is named Karka, Kakarat, and Katakata, is ruled by the moon, obviously. It's flowing water. It is that extreme water that flows. It is a pure guna, meaning like behavior, it's pure. Fourth sign of Zodiac Bell, the crab, it is cardinal movable. It's a feminine sign. It's Motrikona for Rahu, where it feels the most comfortable and also exalted. Moon owns it. It's also the exaltation of Jupiter because you take Guru, now you're putting it in the sign of Divine Mother. You give Mother Teresa, for goodness sakes. The body parts are the chest and the lower lungs, because that's also where you have most of the equolite. But yeah, I can't even pronounce that word. The grape sack, whatever. So the intuitive. I just said one of the words. So if it could speak an I statement, it would say I feel, and some other associated words. We get motherly, emotional, mind, proactive, selfish, stingy, intuitive, psychic, selfless, flowing of emotions, dairy, family, comfort, happiness, joy, nighttime, religious, nurturing, feeding, foundation, education, chef, educational environment, not technical, home, security, and veiled emotions.
That's what makes them the better. I mean, like, I guess some people don't mind the Pisces where it's like, ah, but the Cancers are great because they're emotional, but it's like the perfect amount.
Yep,
I mean,
it's just exactly right at the, like if you have like one of those measuring cups, it hits it right on the line of the number that you need it to be at, so it comes out perfect, right on
yeah,
that line.
exactly, exactly. And even like I noticed like when it's full moon in Cancer, it's not super emotional, but when it's full moon in Pisces, it's like, oh my gosh, why do I feel like I want to cry? It's like we see like those big differences. And even like Scorpio is a lot more emotional, but it's not.
It's more, well, gah, there's like, and there's also different variations of Scorpio too. There
Yes.
is that fixed water that traps and then infects, but then there's also the water that's frozen.
Yeah.
A still devoted water, pure water, or fixed water that can get you rip infected with amoeba and all that nastiness.
Yes, yes, yes. So the signs are always fun. When Cancer is like family wise, they are very, very loyal, and they have their families back no matter what. And they will fight. Like, I mean, they will fight for what they need to do. They're the ones that will care for ailing parents. They're the ones that will show up for someone who is family member who may need to go to the doctor or the hospital. They're the ones that are like, I'll drive you. So career wise, when it needs to get done, they roll up their sleeves and they just get it done as quickly as they can. So
And also, while I'm thinking about it, Cancer, if you have a Cancer ascendant, Mars becomes what is known as a Yogacaraka planet, meaning it's a planet that rules 159 as well as 14710. So Mars will rule the sign of Aries in the 10th, but then it will also rule the house number 5 with Scorpio. So that combination is a Yogacaraka. So for Cancer, their fun comes from their work, and their work becomes fun for them because from their fun, they're able to give to their home. And their home, they want it to be like peace, tranquility. You step into my home, you don't mess up my scales, because that's where Libra's going to sit. But across the way, when it comes to other people and the outside world, they become like Capricorn, like, I'm going to just be me. I'm going to have some self-control. You respect me, and I don't pinch you. And funny enough, when you take a look 3 places away, where the hands are, there's Virgo with the hands. So when you cross with, if you disrespect a Cancer, like a fisticuffs, well, yeah, that's where the pincher comes out and pinches. And their face and the way that they speak, sometimes they could be a little bit loud, like, hey, sometimes. And they value expression. And when it comes to, oh boy, this is going to be a funny one. On the daily, they like to do routines that have them, they like to do work that is pertaining to education, higher education, philosophy, and they make really great travel agents and also hospitality, especially when it involves going long distance traveling and they're doing like hotel management. They love doing things related to that field. And also caretaking to elders too, like mentioned. But the thing is that when it comes to like if sudden events transformation, it comes out of nowhere. Because that's where Aquarius is at. It's like, what the heck is going on? Everything is just going kaboom all of a sudden. And then they like to be innovative on how they can change things up. So for an example, most likely you will see somebody that's a Cancerian person. They like to get people's attention by having a surprise change just come out of nowhere. But when it comes to their higher power, they have to be careful because they might consider using intoxication to understand things at a higher level. So they can have they can develop addictions trying to learn about things. And they may be the first one to be willing to try some of the magical planet, if you catch my drift, just to learn the experience. And they might actually have that connection to possibly seeing a higher state of awareness through such practice and what have you. But now when we take a look at the career, when they are in their career, they take initiative. They go, well, I'm pincher first at it. And they identify with their career a lot. And they think, I need to provide, I need to do this to provide. And they gain the most luxury and the wealth because now Taurus is in the 11th. And their friends, they like to associate and socialize with people that have high values and high statuses. And they may also prefer people that are a bit gaudy. Like, well, isn't she just well dapper and put together? Oh, I say, she looks good. And that's what draws them to their network circle. But they have to remember, because of their communication style, sometimes they can incur losses because they may not be able to connect on a mutual understanding. They may try to communicate about things, but they should not communicate in a private setting. It should be at least with another individual or just something in the area, so that way it's just not isolated communication, because that's where Gemini is at in 12. And they got to be careful of their feet too, because they can get restless feet or restless legs because of that.
So just so everybody knows, our next full moon in Cancer, it's a ways away. It is January 3rd of next year, 2026. So I thought I'd throw that out. I think we've covered all the basics. So if anybody has questions, if you're a Cancer and you have questions, please throw it out there. But yeah, I think we covered everything because I covered the element. Oh, did I say the dates? I guess I don't remember if I said the dates. They are June 21st to July 22nd. So from summer solstice for a month. so.
Actually, another thing too, I don't think we even mentioned about like the correspondences with Cancer too.
I did before you came on, but please
Oh,
feel free to repeat because I think we have people who joined late. So go ahead and
let's
go
see
ahead
here.
and talk about
For
the course.
Cancer, let's think here. Let's go with first thing. Let's go with our plants, resins, and all that nature stuff. Number one, without a doubt, coconut. Coconut is probably one of the biggest one. Also, myrrh. Go figure. Blue lotus,
Yes.
water lily, lilies in general, especially white lilies, white roses. Um, you could go with white hydrangeas. I mean, I would even, well, I mean, yeah, you can even go with the blue ones too, but it's funny with the blue ones because that's a way of telling somebody, no, I'm not interested in you. I don't want to be with you. So here's a blue hydrangea for your condolences of your emotions. Because that's how the Victorians used to reject someone. Here. But, so there's that. Anything that is related to water, and if it's a plant, so you can even say plankton, coral, definitely. Even cattail is another one. Let's see, well, of course, water chestnut, that's one. You could go with, trying to think of any other ones. I already said that one. You could go with lily pad is another one.
Balm.
Huh?
Lemon balm.
Yes, lemon balm. What the heck is that one called? I'm looking right at it. Crap, what are you? Crap, I just had it written out of my head again. Milk thistle. I think that's how you
Oh.
Tulsi is another one because, well, with Tulsi being holy basil, it is believed that that is Lakshmi in a bottle, essentially. So you can say with that one. Trying to think here. Honeysuckle is another one. Definitely honeysuckle. Moonflower. The big, boisterous, I think that's what it's called, or the, what is that big white flower called? That's like on the highways? Datura?
Mm-hmm. Datura.
Don't put that in your mouth. No, but
No.
don't put that in your mouth. But I mean, that's also the part of Cancer, though, at the very end with the sleigh shed. That's where the poisons come in.
Yeah.
So that's also that. Lavender is another one. Oh, duh. How come I haven't mentioned this? Huh?
Calla lily. Were you thinking calla lily?
Yeah, that's another one. I just now remembered. Oh, jasmine.
Yeah.
But you can see all of these, well, except, Datura, because that one's a no-no. Oh, gardenia. It's also a coffee plant. And what's usually the first thing that gets made in the home? Coffee. But you can see all of these specific plants have one thing in common. They either do something that is related to the emotions, except Datura. Don't put it in the mouth. I'm going to keep saying it so that way you know it's serious. Don't do it.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah. And you need to be careful if you even brush it too. I mean.
let's see what else. They either have this watery appearance to them. They have a white coloration to them. They have, well, coconut has this hard shell. And they have this secure but also soothing, lulling energy to them. You could even also say, to an extent, what is that? What is that one called? I just had it and I lost it. It'll come back. Anyway, stone wise. Okay, but here we go with the dean's list. Stone wise, number one, of course, moonstone. Obviously, any variation, pretty much. For Cancer, also aquamarine. You can also go with blue jade. There is Larimar, one of my favorites. Blue topaz is another one. There's also I'm going to try and pronounce it. Chrysofola? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I always mispronounce it too.
Then there's also celestite, angelite, Siberian blue quartz. There is angel ore quartz for the blue variation. There's also, huh?
Pearls.
Ah, yes. Especially pure, like real pearl. Yeah, that's also one of the. I think that's also the primary stone associated with the moon in the Vedic text. No, actually, it is the primary stone for that. Also, white sapphire is another one. Herker diamond's another one. Crud. There's also, see, fossil.
I have hematite down.
Which one?
Hematite.
Yeah, because of the hardness. Yeah. Essentially fossils too, because most of the time you see a fossil, there's like crab fossil's another one. Oh, let's see. Okay, I got another one. Crap. What the heck is your name? I'm looking at you and you're trolling me. Crud. Blue calcite. That's another one. Oh, and also this one's a bit rare, and it's on my to-get list if it ever pops up. Blue diopside.
Yes, and it is very, very rare. I would love a piece.
It's also known as violi. Yeah.
Crystal event. It was like a little piece was very, very expensive, but I'd already spent all my money for the show.
It's like, oh, why?
Yeah, it's like I always tell myself walk through, but every once in a while you see a crystal and you're like, I don't want to leave this. This one's supposed to come home with me.
Yep, that's when you just go, I licked it, it's mine.
Yep, exactly.
But it's true though, because violi.
It's not like it doesn't have copper flakes in it or mercury flakes.
Exactly. And the thing with violane, I like to call it that because it sounds better and more elegant than diopside, but violane it looks very similar to Larimar, but the structure for it it's different, but it is believed with violane it has this nurturing it's able to nurture you to a way to have a better understanding of like other realms of existence, and it makes you whenever at least what I've been told and researched, holding a piece, it allows you to enter new states of awareness and be at home with it. But blue topaz is another really rare one, especially if it's a natural one. I have a natural one. It feels like you're holding hard water. It's like, it feels wet, but it's not water.
Yeah.
Magical. Okay, we did the herbs, we did the stones. The direction for Cancer is the north direction, because the sun rises from the east. When you go around the astrology chart, you're going 4th house, 10th house is south. Then there's also, what else is there? You can also, there is, well, we can also go with the deities, Deva, and all that. For deities, number one, without a doubt, of course, we can go with Ino from Greek mythology. There's Ino. There is Hermaphrodite, who is the wife of Poseidon. There's as well, you could even also say Nyx, because she is the first mother. And since she is the first mother, well, Cancer, divine mother, there's that. You can also associate Newt as well, being the sky. You can also go with, to an extent, also Sobek, I believe, the god of the Nile. I think that's his name. Yeah, Sobek would be one. You can also go with the water elemental spirits like Naiads or Undines. Crud. What is that spirit's name? What is her name? Crud. Crud. What the heck is her name? Lady of the Lake from Arthurian Legends. That's another one.
I don't remember her name. That sounds awful. I should know it.
Yeah, it's like, huh.
I'm like, I've got my notes up, but I've also got internet up, so.
Let's see,
Oh, Nemu or Vavian. That's, I knew her, Nemu. But I'm probably saying it wrong.
What about, crap. In a way, the Morgan, to an extent, because she's like, don't mind me, I'm just washing your soon-to-be armor in red. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you see her doing that, it's like, great. Let me write my will first, at least.
Especially if you're going into battle.
Yeah, she's just like, this is gonna be your clothes once the war's over. Great. And also, you could... That's another thing, too, and I just remember this, too. Since Cancer is associated with the moon, the Cancer is also a vampiric sign at that. Because Cancer, being tied to the moon, it absorbs. It pulls. So, like whenever you deal with somebody that's like, like the Cancer energy, like the mother energy that's like, no, we're going to sit down. But mom, no, we're going to sit down. She takes your energy and just suppresses you. And then she just feels like, okay, I won. And you're just like, I can't even do anything. I just feel defeated. It does have that element attached to it. You could also go with, I'm trying to see who else. In a way, but even though you can't really connect it to the Oroba religion, you could say Yamoja would be possibly considered, but they wouldn't have zodiac signs associated with that. There's a yokai, but except he's probably more associated with the ocean for Pisces, but there's Bake Ortigia, who is like a zombie whale. There's that one, but he's a yokai. For a sea, you could say Tiamat, but that would be more of a Capricorn vibe, but that water element's there. You could also go with Heibo, and he's the god of the Golden River, or Yellow River. Chang'e, definitely Chang'e, who is known as the moon goddess who drank the elixir, and she got stuck on the moon, and she's surrounded by white bunnies. Like, yeah, what's up, man? Did you take a wrong turn in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Bugs Bunny all night.
Yeah. Did you take a wrong turn in Albuquerque, miss? Oh, you want to go to heaven again? Oh, no. Psych. Porn.
Yes, so thank you everybody for joining tonight. Thank you so much for the hearts and for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. It is kind of a quiet night. I don't see very many questions in the chat. I do want to remind everybody, Sunday we are starting our new book on Nyx, and it happens to be by our favorite person, Bren.
The coincidence.
Right. Like, wow, how'd that happen?
Witchcraft going on in here or something. No.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so I am live on Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and Bren joins me at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yes, it is early for us in the Pacific and the Mountain time zones, but hey, we're here. We're having fun. So and we're kind of your favorite people. We know that. So yes, Sunday
True.
we'll be talking about the goddess Nyx and Bren's book. So please feel free to join. It will be open panel, and Bren will be leading. So very exciting. Are you excited, Bren?
Yes, and speaking of excitement and whatever, there's also this. I'm just going to put it up because this is the next thing that's in the works. So come on. Okay, we're going to give this a flip.
Yes. And those that weren't here Tuesday, this is a special treat. So
Yep, so please hold while I process the request, otherwise also known as the phone loading forever.
you
Yes.
can actually get the Jeopardy theme song for 48 hours. It's on YouTube. It's 48 hours straight, no commercials. It is. So, yes, if I guess I could, I don't actually, we would probably get, because that would be probably a copyright, but while we wait. So, yes, definitely join us on Sunday. If you don't have the book, you can order it. Make sure you're following Bren, and you go to his TikTok bio, and hit his link tree. It will take you right to the book so you can order it. You probably will not have the book in time for Sunday, but you'll at least have it coming. So we're only doing the book for 2 weeks. So, yep, that's the next one he's working on.
And funny enough, oh, it happens to be the one that accidentally squished the crab. Whoops.
Exactly.
Oh.
I was thinking of that when you were telling the story, and I was like, no, I won't. I'm glad I didn't say anything then.
And she's like, I'm so ready for this festival. What? Oh, I feel so horrible. What if I make you into a constellation? There, I'm sorry.
So yes, that is Bren's next book. So at some point we'll probably weasel it into Witchy Book Club. So
Yep, and I'm just going to say right now, I'm still gathering the mythological references for this book. There are a lot, and I'm trying to record every single line from every single piece that has description of her and things being said by her in the text. Oh boy, it is going through.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
lot.
information on her. So, but that's exciting. So that's something really exciting we all have to look forward to. So. All right. Well, with that, we're kind of a quiet night tonight, Bren. I guess we can wrap up for tonight. So, any other comments that you have, or any goodbyes, or anything else you want to say?
Well, the only thing that I could say is arrivederci, toodaloo, ciao, poodles.
I know. I should add my Romanian la rivedere. Took me forever to say it. So, but yes, thank you so much for everybody who joined. Thank you for the hearts and the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. Next week, we will be doing the zodiac sign, the astrology of the Leo. So, hope to see you Sunday. And as always, merry meet, merry part, bright blessings, and namaste.